we've been doing a standing practice. You can always turn that standing practice into the floor or wherever you need to at the time. So this is something I came back to. These were on a Zoom chat, and I asked my OSU students, what were the takeaways from what we did? And you might consider that too, of what are the main takeaways if we ended our class, if I ended it at this, what were the takeaways? And as you're going to take a little break, there'll be my videos that will be up, but there'll be a little break around Thanksgiving. And this is what they said. I can turn to yoga as a calming practice when I'm stressed and overwhelmed. And yoga is really everything. Consistency, patience, forgiveness, and radiating gratitude. Take time to feel the world. Return to beginner's mind. Mindfulness concerning where I can slow down. Awareness, calm, centered, balance, reflection. Patience, serenity, peacefulness, and happiness. Mindfulness in every aspect of life. Self-compassion. Awareness of myself and my surroundings. Relaxation of the mind. Contentment. Just words, phrases. And I encourage you to every once in a while sit down and play with words, phrases. Seeing what the consciousness will come up with is, what have I taken away from being part of this women's yoga circle? And some of you have been here for 2 years. Some of you have been with me for 3 or 4 through the work I did in either Silverton or Corvallis. And then finding that as part of our meditation is finding the breath, breathing gratitude through the heart, finding that extended exhale, knowing that you have these practice open to you every single day, even if, and I've been trying to explain yoga moments. It doesn't have to be an hour, a half hour. It doesn't have to be a minute. It can be 30 seconds. It'll be half a minute or even 5 seconds. Take a breath, stop, feel your feet, feel the body, because a lot of times we get out of body, not knowing it. So just coming back into body so that we really are coming together in physical, this physical place, embodying the wholeness of ourself. And that wholeness is physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, relational. And it's all kind of, all around us in our lives as we walk, the earth walk. And then you breathe that gratitude through your heart, and you have to awaken your imagination to do that. And the gratitude, and you have to go, well, can I make an image of gratitude? Because gratitude is the absolutely most powerful thing that actually changes everything completely all the time. If you just go back to gratitude, the simplest of gratitude and the most complex. Even though we have these other words, appreciation, caring, and compassion, you go back to gratitude, and your heart kind of either lights up and it softens at the same time. Gratitude kind of softens all the edges, but it also lights up the heart. And it actually is lighting up the neurites of the heart to connect with the neurites of the brain. And so imagine that. What does it mean? What does it look like? Could you draw it? What colors would you choose? Can you dance it? How would your body move? Can you make one shape? Can you see it in your mind's eye? To connect with something more than the word itself is going to expand it through the cells of your body. And it's going to help heal the cells of your body. Cell level healing. Keeping with the breath and gratitude, seeing gratitude light up your heart, connect with the brain, bringing yourself into that softened edge of light and love. As you draw health through you without even trying. Full, complete health naturally flows to you. And then say, my cells, tissues, and organ systems are repairing themselves right now without even needing to know or understand it. I trust the process. I know I do not have to be fully healed in this particular moment to understand that my body is healing itself. And you see this on the cellular level. Notice if you can see that light and love of gratitude of the heart. And the thinking of these words and creating images of your cells being lit up, every cell of your body healing in this moment, although it's an ongoing process. The act of healing is always active, ever flowing through me from head to toe. So if you haven't taken it down to your toes and out to your fingertips, to the crown of your head, then take it through to every part of the physical body. And let the light of gratitude through this heart-brain coherence and this extended exhale. And then go down to the base. So you find the breath, inhale, and then extend that exhale to the base of your first chakra, and then use your pelvic floor and just Kegel that energy up through the spine to the top of the head as you inhale, and then relax. Then inhale and hold the breath and Kegel it, and then exhale, let it go as you're opening the base of the spine, base of that, and then work with it again. On Wednesday, we worked with a lot of the base of the spine and how to use that pelvic floor. Then pause for a moment and simply take this in, the cell level healing. Let it resonate. What does it look like? Can you feel it? Is there any subtle vibration that's there? Does it have a color? Does it have a sound? And bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to your heart. And light up the visible spectrum of your body, the rainbow that creates the white light, that creates everything we see. Expand that white light understanding into both ends of that spectrum, into the electromagnetic spectrum below and above, or between, not between the white light, it's sort of in the center of the spectrum. But imagine the whole electromagnetic spectrum that you may have seen with in some kind of time during a science education, perhaps. And know about the infrared and the ultraviolet, the radio waves. I know that everything is this spectrum. It's one of the equations, one of the 4 equations of the quantum field. And that you and the visible part is the white light created by the rainbow of our bodies. And then thumbs to the third eye. Take a deep breath in and out, let it out with a sigh, perhaps. Imagination, inspiration, intuition, and integration. And that's what we're doing to retrain the brain. The integration of everything we learned in the 20th century, we've brought into the 21st century, and we have burst into this new age, this new paradigm. And that's what this is all about, this time we're going through. Then tap the top of the head and know that what we're doing here is opening that crown chakra. And just lace your fingers today, rest the fingers on the top of the head and stretch the body open, open the heart. Take a breath and just see what that feels like. If your arms will do this, then come back to center. Open the arms up into the V posture. Notice how it takes some energy to hold the arms up. Just see how that feels as you acknowledge the soul star chakra, this new understanding of chakras as stars, bursting kind of things of light, energies, to the galactic chakra, to the universal chakra. And that's what connects us all, is all of this. We're not separate from the universe. We're not separate from the galaxy, and we're not separate from the part of ourself that has been questioned for years of what is the soul. So if you listen to the place above the head in that soul star chakra, it's a place of the soul. And then hands together at the heart. The golden triangle within us is the integrated connection between the third eye and the back of the head and the crown. So the medulla area of our head and then the crown chakra. Just stay there for a moment, recognizing that this is called the golden triangle. It connects also with the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal in its center. And it harmonizes with all of it together, creating this soul star chakra above our crown. And just take a moment there, as you take a moment also to honor that you've taken time out to do this practice, and that you've been embodying this practice to just take it into every moment of your life, on the mat, off the mat. And then take a deep breath in and release all of that. And I know that was a lot, because I'm not holding back with you. I'm keeping you, I'm just saying, okay, this is high level stuff that we're doing. Shake out the legs. If you're seated, come off the seat. Now you can always stay on a chair. You can be on a bed. You can do this anywhere, but we are going to be more on the floor. And we're going to start lying down. But before, if you're seated, just give your legs a little, and your pelvis just a little bit of a release. And then we'll come down, pulling the knees in. And just feeling what the change, every transition that we make in yoga asanas is like doing a transition, like even just getting ready to go shopping and you get into your car. Before then, you might even make a list or say, oh, what am I going out to do? Where am I going? And in those transitions, you can watch, if you can watch the breath and how you go through the transitions, it's like coming to the mat. So roll the knees in a circle. And then you get into your car and you have to engage and at the same time keep the calmness. And sometimes you get into traffic and the other direction. And if I'm like going out like on the interstate or something, oh my God, I really have to prepare myself. And I want to stay as slow as I can while I'm navigating all the different stimuli, especially after it was really crazy after the first year of COVID, the lockdown, and then opening up. Then pull the knees in. And I know we talked about that and that a lot of us experience this like change to go back into crowds, back into traffic. So rolling the ankles as you open up the knees, and you can hold the knees here, supporting them, with your hands, or you can lift the head and lengthen out the arms and not support the legs. You're choosing all the time. You can always have your hands behind your head. It's kind of a nice feeling. We've just been doing a lot of the same things. You can, do all sorts of things while you're here. If you want, you can have more movement or stillness. Always just find the breath. How's the breath working for you? Then head comes down and feet come up and shake it all out. Then roll the ankles and the wrists again. Breathing, grounding into the spine. And we've been working with this peach colored light. We're drawing light up from the earth, filling the body, filling all your cells with the peach colored light. It's one of the highest consciousness lights we can do. It's peach colored with all the different colors, that possible colors of peaches. And I said on Wednesday, it's also like all the different shades that we can see out in the autumn leaves here in the Northwest and in wherever we have deciduous trees. Then bend the knees in and bring the head up to the knees and the hands down as far to the feet as they'll go. And it might be hands are beneath the knees or at the thighs, under or above, or down at the shins or the ankles, or hands at the toes. And those of you that use a strap all the time for everything, you just have that strap ready to go. Make yourself small and remember the time when you were small. And you can go back to either being an infant, or you can go back to when you were emotionally keeping yourself small, or in your job, or not good enough, all those things that we want to release, shame, into I am big. Oh, there's so many metaphors in every one of these postures. Those metaphors can be really helpful in continuing to heal every cell of our body. So keep going to cell level healing and feel where your body touches the floor. And everywhere that the body is touching the floor, draw earth energy up through you in that peach colored light. And you can make it a little bit, what is the right word? Like an opal, where it's translucent, where it's an energy, if you can feel or see the energy of that light, and have it shimmer outside your skin in this position where you're in 5-pointed star on the earth and just surrendering, and surrendering also to the fact that we can send our light out. We're healing the world with our light and love. Imagine us all in a circle together, and imagine our fingertips touching, and we're all lying down in a circle, in a beautiful circle. Then bring the feet flat to the floor and drop the knees side to side, just to loosen the pelvis. Again, you can do this on a bed. We're not going to do a spinal twist yet. We're going to come into bridge. So if you want to go into a supported posture, you just take either a block or a cushion and you just put yourself up there in bridge by putting the block underneath the pelvis. If you want to go into a vinyasa posture, then it's an inhale up and an exhale down. If you want a fitness level posture, then put the feet, knees, and thighs together and keep them all the way together as you inhale up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now this brings you to the full, complete breath. If you can go super slow or faster, depending on what your body is saying. And that goes back to your intuition. What do you need? Do you need super slow? One of the great things about being alive is that we have choices. And those choices are guided by that intuitive self that I think we did 5 classes on intuition. You can see them online. I'm going to put them up today on the YouTube if you missed any and you want to see what we did. Inhale up, exhale down. Now you can keep that vision of light the whole time. So that vision of light and the vision of cell level healing, imagine that you're bringing that second and third chakra off the ground. You're grounding into the first and all of the upper chakras, even the heart. And the second and third are your total recreation of yourself. They're the water and the power. They're going with the flow and swimming in a lake, and they're playing with the ocean and knowing what the ocean is and knowing what all the different water bodies, knowing the rain, knowing the different forms that water takes on the planet. Changing all the time. Creativity, birthing new ideas. And then the power center is the sun. It's the yellow. It's the burst of energy that takes our creation into form. And that's what this posture is about. Then arms over your head or down by your sides, you decide what's right for your shoulders, and then pulse hold for a moment and pulse the pelvis towards the ceiling to strengthen the back body core, because the core really is this whole torso central area. Squeeze at the pelvic floor to recognize that there's a diaphragm down there that you're using to help build the strength so that you can take your new creation into the world and spread the love. Then hold for a moment. Relax, breathe, feel, witness yourself holding. And if you can't hold, don't worry about it. Just take good care of yourself and let go. I'm going to bring my arms down by my sides. And some of you like to lace the fingers, walk your shoulders together and hold. Then come up onto the toes. And then inhale and exhale and lower yourself down. And pull the knees in. And just side to side. And see if this works for you. Catching your ankles, knees are bent, you're putting your legs up, or catch your toes if it works for you, or catch behind the knees if it works for you. Always remembering that you're really reading your body and you're accepting what is. And then letting that go and moving everything. So moving all the joints you can while you're grounded into the earth on the spine, still drawing up that peach color into the cells of your body. And then decide, can you lift your head up? And then decide, can you reach out and make yourself as big as you can, take up as much space as the body will take. And you're playing with the whole body while you're grounded into the earth on the lower spine. Don't forget to breathe. What does the breath want to do here? Witnessing how the breath changes with the activity that you do. And then pause for a moment and freeze. And go to that kind of elusive understanding of what's the space and what's the space between. You're in a moment in time, and there's space and there's space between. You take up a certain space, there's space between all the things in your room, there's space and space between. It's just an interesting way of looking at it. And then consider that air is a substance that takes up space. And then pull the knees in, rest. Deep breath in and out. And then feet flat on the floor. No, feet lengthened out. Nice little stretch here. Lengthen the legs out, arms above your head. Stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet and hold your breath. And while you're holding that breath, just stretch as much as you can. Oh, and then you're really tensing a lot of the body, upper body, lower body. And then totally relax. Take a moment in this place. Again, arms above your head or arms down by your sides or arms out to your sides. I know some of you have some shoulder issues. And so I know for me, that would mean maybe bending my elbows. The other thing is, if you put your arms, if you can have your arms above your head, you're actually relaxing the trapezius muscle that lifts the shoulder. That's part of the back and then comes into your neck. And then you've also the levator that lifts the shoulders up. So we're relaxing that and reteaching or retraining it to be relaxed. The wisdom here comes from osteopathy. If you leave the body in a relaxed position for a certain amount of time, usually 60 to 90 seconds, you're retraining those muscles to do what they're supposed to do when they're relaxed. So if you take any tension on in your neck, that's a good thing to do. Then hands behind your head, press into the lower back and lift the shoulders and exhale. And feet can be on the floor. And if this is too much for you, then you're just pressing into the lower back. Exhale when you come up. Those of you who want to go a little further, bring your knees into table position. Those of you who want to go a little further, lengthen the legs out, but keep the back grounded into the earth. So if you lengthen the legs out and you can feel that back have a little strain, then just bend the knees. That's where I usually go, bending the knees. Exhale, exhale, and squeeze at the pelvic floor. So you're working that diaphragm at the pelvic floor. And go as slow as you want. That means you can rest. You can go super slow. Or you can go faster. What does your body need? Use your intuition. And then hold. Don't hold your breath. What does your body want to do when you hold? Can you just go for a comfortable, steady breath? And then pull the knees in, take a deep breath in and out. And then rock yourself up and see if that works for you. And then drop the knees side to side, hands behind you. And if you ever need to change to being on a chair, a lot of these things, you can find a way to do what we're doing on a chair. I just want to keep you realizing that you can change at any time. And then over to the right in mermaid position. But if this doesn't work for you, then find another way to move the spine. One leg out for some of us, one leg out has to be what we do. And you can always be on hands and knees and just work the spine that way. We're going to do the dolphin and press into the hands. Now, the reason I like this is because your body is in a very different position than it will normally be in. And you're twisted, but not all the way into a twist. Change directions with the roll. And remember, we're also using our arms to strengthen the arms here. And again, you can do hands and knees and just do spinal rolls, and you can do cat-cow, and you can also find your own way. And then reach up out of the crown and pause. You can also sit on a cushion, put your right hip on a cushion, and that will lift you up a little bit and make this easier. Take the left hand and use it through active isolated stretching to get your body ready to stretch. Breathe with it, with the motion. Again, feel that right arm holding you up. So feel all that's working here. Notice with the back foot, the left foot, notice what you're feeling back in that back leg as you do this twist. And then come around, look over the right shoulder, and keep the eyes open so you can twist the eyes. Really working the eyes to hang out there for a moment. Don't forget to breathe and know that the breath will stretch you. Just feel that breath. What are you stretching as you breathe? This breath will stretch you, body, mind, and spirit, as you get used to understanding how the breath will work for you. Can you see your back foot? Maybe some of you. And then back around. Switch to the other side. And maybe you want to loosen before you switch. And dive into the knee. What can you sense on this side? What's different about this side? Again, do you have a knee that's challenged? Do you have a hip or part of the pelvis that's challenged? Is there something going on in a wrist? If there is, go onto your fists. Inhale and exhale as you find the rhythm for yourself. Change directions with the roll. What does that mean? Does your brain do that naturally, or is it a little bit of thinking that has to happen? And then reach up out of the crown of the head and pause for a moment and just feel it, feel the shape. Again, having decided whether or not your leg needs to be out, or if you need to come to hands and knees or change postures, do something different. Take the right hand and you're twisting and back and inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you'll feel some of the spine click into it, their proper alignment. It always happens to me. That's why I mention it, is that, you're kind of doing a little tiny chiropractic adjustment when you do spinal twists. Now I have a sister that's a chiropractor and a sister that's an osteopath. So I've learned a lot about those two practices. And then all the way around and twisting as far as your body wants to go, looking around over that left shoulder. Keeping the eyes open so you really are twisting all the way up to the center of the brain. And those eyes, they're so connected directly into the center of the control centers of the brain. And see if you actually see your back foot. Don't strain too much, especially with your neck. Reach up out of the crown of the head to lengthen the spine in case you're a little hunched down or you have something going on there. You can also use your fist to come up higher, or your fingertips, or a block, or a cushion. and then around to the front. Onto hands and knees. And remember, if your knees are challenged, to get extra cushioning. And I'm 4 months out. 4 months out from a surgery, and I still need the support. I'm getting used to the new knee. And this just feels like heaven all the time. I think you can do this seated in a chair. You can do this, with the hands on a chair. You don't have to be hands on, you don't have to be on your knees. If you're on a chair, you come to the edge of the chair. So your spine has full movement and you're finding your sits bones. Then pause in one direction and just feel it. Notice where your gaze goes. You can close your eyes or you can keep them open. You can come up onto your fists if it's getting a little too much for your arms, your hands, your wrists. Then change directions. Take a couple breaths here, focusing in this, just the shape of your body. And then to center. Now, I know knees can be tricky, so if you need to do something different, then just do something different. We're going to come into a balancing posture here. Right arm up, left leg up. And you're just pausing. This is a good test of your core strength because it's going to be harder and you're going to be wobbly if if you feel that. And it's not like you need a ton of core strength. You just need to do that little bit that we do during the week here. And then down on that side, up on the other side. So left arm up, right leg. You can point the toe of your right leg. And breathe. And then down. From here, you're going to fold back into child. Now, some of you, this is a challenging posture. And so, get your cushions and whatever you need ready. And I always show you everything. So you can take a cushion and put it back on your feet. And you can put your head on a block. Or you can do puppy stretch. That would be on your elbows. You walk forward a little bit and the curve of the spine. And then you put your head on a block or you put your head down on the floor. So decide which one is best for you. You might want to try both of them and get used to them and understand which one is best for you. Sometimes I really want to do that fold. My knee is just getting to the point where I'm almost back, but not totally back. So I wouldn't stay here very long. If I put the cushion on top, it's a little bit better. But really, puppy stretch is even better. So see if that's right for you. Then with your arms extended, either you can stay in puppy stretch or this fold as long as you want, or you bring your arms extended and you come up into a back bend. And my body feels really good doing that, but maybe your body won't. So you really have to listen. And then come back and forward. I have found that the vinyasa yoga keeps me more fluid and keeps me less stiff. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back. And you can go super slow with this where you pause and exhale and hold and then find the breath, come back. Or you can go faster. What does your body want to do? Listening to your intuition that's guiding you. Everybody's different. Next time you come up, if you're working on where I'm at, is just hold for a moment. and hold, press into the hands. And then come to hands and knees and come all the way down to the floor. And you're in Sphinx. So Sphinx is press into the elbows, and you're going to feel it in your shoulders and your upper arm. Your head, you can go down into the shoulders, your head comes into the shoulder girdle, and then press into the elbows and your head comes up. Look straight ahead for a moment and breathe a couple breaths. Then look side to side. Then hold one side. Look back at your feet and hold the other side. And then back to center. Bring yourself down and over to one side. Oops, microphone. Let's see if it works. And bend the lower leg. I didn't say which side. And catch your ankle if you can and pull it in for a quad stretch. Just feel what goes on there in the quad. And then the other side. So to do that, you're going to see my back. Catch the ankle and pull in. Always, if you have a strap handy, you can always have that handy, wrap it right around there, especially the ones that have the, what's it called? Making a loop at the end of it. And just feel that. Now, if you can catch both of your feet or one of them and come up on your elbow, or catch both of them, open the shoulders into bow or half bow, where one arm is out and one arm is holding. So you're really playing with something we haven't done very much, and it's not easy. So whatever you did with that, then we're gonna, let's see, bring ourselves back around to our back. So just roll right over to the back. And we're gonna go into reclined goddess, which is the soles of the feet together and the arms, palms face up out to your sides. But some of you have the long cushion or rolled up blankets, or any kind of cushion really works, and you can open the shoulders this way. Most of you have done this over time here. And so you set yourself up where you're sitting on the floor, and the rolled up blanket or cushions, I've even done this with bed cushions and couch cushions. Those are your lower back or your sacrum is on the floor, and the rest of your spine is supported, and the shoulders open because it's brought up a couple inches, so you're able to just open up there. So just see what happens for you. And then settle into the breath. Now, if you'd rather put your feet up the wall or just come into Shavasana for the rest of our class, we only have 6 minutes. And just go back to this understanding, this idea of being able to draw the earth energy up of the peach colored light, which is considered one of the most high vibrational lights. It's related to the opal, which is the 12th chakra, which is the universe. And it's sort of this kind of combination of pinks and yellows and a little tiny bit of purple or blue, or it's kind of like the combination of the yellows, the blues, and the reds all coming together. Any bit of that white. And imagine drawing health through you without even trying, because it's such a natural process for you to do, is to the healing of every one of your cells. Go back to the sparkle of gratitude in your heart and how you can fill your heart connected to your brain and then expand it to all of the cells in the body. Imagine lighting up every cell and what it would look like for your body to be full of this peach colored light that's shimmering outside your skin while you're lying here in reclined goddess and sending out the love to the world. Again, imagine us all in a circle. Maybe our fingertips are almost touching. Beautiful shape that we all make in this circle. Our flower of life, each of our flowers of life touching the other at the vortices of their flower of life. And then bring in all the other circles of women, all the people in your life that are women that you are connected with. As though we could heal all women. First that we know, and then all around the world. And say to yourself, my cells, my cells, tissues, and organ systems are repairing themselves right now without even my needing to know or understand it. I trust the process. I know that I don't have to be fully healed in this particular moment to understand that my body is healing itself. The process is ongoing and it's happening all the time. It's always active, ever flowing through me from head to toe, out to the fingertips. Imagine the glow that you are in this moment as we are together, sending out our love, bringing the hands together at the heart. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Now you can stay in this posture for as long as you want. You can change any part of the posture through lengthening out the legs, and if you're using blocks like I am, removing the blocks. You can come into Shavasana. As you have a conscious closing for yourself, feeling the conscious closing. So for me, it's taking out the blocks, feeling the weight of the body go back to a different relationship with gravity. Lengthening out my legs, rolling over, taking out my cushion, spending a moment in Shavasana, reconnecting with gravity. Always connected with light. The quantum field is the electromagnetic spectrum, gravity, and two nuclear forces. And each one of these, so there's 4 different equations that come together to create the mathematics of what's the quantum field. And it's everywhere. It's inside, outside, and all around us. And it's affected by vibration and by pressure, by different ways that our bodies and all the rest of the things in our lives interact with it. Then I'm going to roll over to my side and rest in fetal posture. Watching the gravity, watching the water in my body, feeling it shift. Then when I'm ready, I'll come up to mermaid position. So using my top arm, I'm going to walk myself then finding my way up. And it's always like, what's the best way for you to come up from the floor? Always practicing and knowing what you need in order to come up.